Jane and I came to live here about 1996, having been invited to join this incipient community aimed at self-sufficiency and stuff like that on quite a big farm with lots of woodland. So we had the opportunity of building a new house or den down in the corner of the woods. We're invited to do that because I'd been experimenting with dens, and we'd done our music practice in a wooden teepee for a few years. So I'd built up a bit of experience in building various wacky structures. So I took the opportunity here of building one down in the corner of the woods based on an American Indian design from the Miwok and the Mandan peoples, and with a bit of Celtic thrown in, and a skylight and recycled windows, and my own kind of designed plumbing and solar heating system for the water, and a back boiler, and a nice wood stove, and all that kind of stuff. And so it worked quite well, really. And then we were spotted by the National Park. We should have asked for planning permission in advance, but I was advised that there wasn't a hope in hell of getting it. And we were at the time also negotiating or talking to the planning people about the possibility of a new low impact policy, and they were kind of thinking about that at the same time around the year 2000. Yeah, look. So we've got a nice situation here, you see? We've got a big branch off this oak tree that's cracked nicely and got stuck on a fork of an extremely dead bit of aspen, and it's propped up by a tiny bit of hawthorn that I've actually sawed 3/4 of the way through. So this whole branch, about maybe a ton of wood, is held up by a couple of kind of little kind of it's well dangerous. So that's all going on, and then they spotted us from the air, and it boiled down to this one in the end, to our roundhouse, because it was a dwelling in the countryside. It would have been okay if we'd been horses, for example. We built a perfectly legal horse shelter. It looked almost identical, about 100 yards away. But if we're humans, that's different. So yeah, we had a long struggle, and basically we kept asking why and didn't want to pull it down. Went to court several times, appealed several occasions. When we were nearly going to pull it down, there was a big demo in our favour in about 2003, that was, which was great, through Haverfordwest and also here, and people convinced us that we shouldn't pull it down, should stay fighting. Meanwhile, the policy 52 on low impact development was creeping slowly through the process, with different officers and councillors saying, oh no, we've got to make it more difficult, can't let them get away with this and with that and with that, and so gradually piling on the conditions. But anyway, it did get through the whole policy 52, and it's there now in Pembrokeshire and in the national park, and there's the Pembrokeshire Coast National Park, so it's there as a policy, and it means that you can build in the countryside so long as you provide 75% of your basic needs from the land, and you're not connected to the mains, that's electricity or water, and you've got your own compost toilet facilities, and you're very conscious of visual amenity, and you use local materials. Oh, there's a big list. So we conformed with that finally, and then they were concerned about our effect on these woods, and that we didn't have enough woodland to make crafts and also get our fuel from it without damaging the woods. They didn't actually show we damaged the woods at all, but anyway, so we got together with Emma for a joint planning application. So I took a back seat over the last year. I was fed up with the whole warrior thing, and Faith and Emma, Faith was Jane, and Emma from over the field here, who's got the Tier's Bridle site, and she's wanted a whole little village of huts for ages. So they put in a joint application, which also involves all these woods being jointly managed and ecologically run with a view to wildlife and stuff like that, which is fine because that's what we do anyway. And this time it got through planning permission, so we've got 3-year temporary permission for our house and for this guest roundhouse. And Emma's got permission for 2 new roundhouses, plus her existing 3, plus a communal hall and a barn and compost toilets. So that's fantastic. So it's a first, really. It's great. And it means that you can get planning permission for something like this now in Pembrokeshire, and other counties are looking at it with a lot of interest. And so there's hope. It's difficult because, in my opinion, it's difficult because there's thousands of people who'd like to live more simply, really. And if they only allow through sort of 20 or 30 a year in the whole of Britain, that won't be nearly enough. We need about 200,000 or something, I think, before the crunch, at least.